This is usually how the kitchen ends up. A little crazy. Where'd my wine go? So the first thing is you always have to make sure you start off with a good glass of wine. This is the cooking wine, not the drinking wine with dinner. But this is the way we like to start around this household. But today, what I'm going to be doing is a little bit of our roasted garlic with a little bit of sage and our dried sweet corn. I like the dried sweet corn because it kind of goes back to my Pennsylvania Dutch roots. I grew up with dried sweet corn, so we'll use a little bit of that. A little bit of heavy whipping cream and some sage. We'll let it simmer down. We'll put it through the blender and then we'll strain it and we'll use that as a garnish for on top of our lobster, our sage poached lobster. So this is how we do it. So turn up the heat a little bit here. Get a little bit of our nice cream working. And like I said, I like to use the dried sweet corn. Has a little bit of a sweeter flavor to it. So I like to use really good ingredients, and can't get much better than some Amish folk ingredients. So when I went to market today, I made sure I picked up some fresh garlic, and we always ground down some sage. So I have a little bit of sage here we're going to mix in, and just going to twist that up a little bit, mix it up. Let it just kind of simmer away on low here and get going. So we'll get that one started. Really want to make sure we get our ingredients really infused so that way that really brings out the garlic in it. It really brings out the sage, because once we put it through the strainer, or excuse me, put it in the blender, all the flavors are going to kind of combine. So I want to make sure we get them even throughout. And I'm going to do a little bit more here of our cream. So we always have music going, a little dancing. So that's kind of what goes on in our kitchen. We're going to do a little bit of balsamic reduction. Again, good ingredients are the key to cooking. So we do a little bit of our balsamic in the back here. Sometimes I like to use Splenda when I'm making this. Today I'm just going to use regular sugar to kind of give it a little bit of a sweeter taste, just a hair, a pinchful. And then we're going to hit it with, now don't tell anybody, this is my secret little messy area up here. Some of my favorite ingredients, we got our breadcrumbs. Up here we got our honey. Like I said, you never know what's going to fall out. My kitchen's pretty small. It's pretty small, so real estate's at a loss here, so you got to kind of mound things. So we'll just get this going back here. A little bit of our honey balsamic reduction. And a little sip of wine because it always makes it better. Get that nice and mixed up. Get it on a good simmer. We already have our sage butter ready for poaching our lobster. We had already done the lobster earlier and steamed it off. And I'm going to break it down, put a little bit of the shells in there too, so it gives a little bit more of that seafood, a little bit of the sea flavor. And then we'll get out our lamb chops, because I always like to sear those off when I am when they're at room temperature. So come back and join us in a few minutes and we'll take a look at the next step.